Okay, everyone, how y'all doing today? I am Crow, your entertainer for this broadcast, and welcome to today's episode. We are playing Spaceship Repair, Build and Repair Simulator. Also, mining heavy equipment, build and repair simulator, base build and repair simulator, imagination, a gone wild build and repair simulator, space Legos build and repair simulator. In short, space engineers. So how y'all doing today, chat? And once again, I do not have I'm not up on screen because, YouTube keeps putting me onto top chat and not live chat. Top chat is cursed. So, where are we? We are on the Earthlight, a quick start. We got the base and everything. You know, you go into like what is it? It's not a, is it a scenario or something? It's just, basically, I'm who's that face? Or a Blacktron, a syndicate dude. He's not necessarily at his day job, but he's kind of at a job. He's at his cover. I really want to put a sign up. I found one that has a Benny's a spaceship, a repair thing. It was from Arrakis Spice Co. But right now I'm building what is the insectoids? Give me a minute. Lego. Yeah, Lego insectoids, the ones with the bug-like ships from like from the Y2K era. I'm building like a you know that miner that's usually over here. Yeah, I'm turning that into a dragonfly miner. Cause boy, does it suck as a miner. A mining shit. Oh crap, I didn't take my meds. Folks, give me a minute here. I need to take my meds. Cause if I don't, my head's gonna be hurting. Cause my head. Oh, sorry, folks. Hit the touchpad on laptop. Cause right now my head doesn't hurt as much because I got my meds yesterday. But if I'm not on top of my meds, hey, y'all that take meds know it. Who, what, when, where, how? Oh, it's just local wildlife. No, I don't have this one in there. Okay, Space Pirates, headquarters, facility, keep out. Unknown signal, 3K that way, not going there. I'm sticking around base camp because I need resources. Besides, that one's going to blow up in about a minute, and it's 3Ks out. If it was closer, yes. But I need resources, and it's 3Ks out. Oh, that go creak crack. And Culipta. Oh, this stuff has actually been a lot of help. Culipta for my migraines and constant headaches. Let's get them into my coffee. Sodas for later. Coffee. I think it's a bad beverage. It's bitter and hurts my stomach. Oh, it's not for everybody. Yeah, I think I'll have another cup. And and one and one each morning for the rest of my life. Shadows over loathing. I don't want this here, but right now it's the only place I can put it. Because of this here, because this is no. Solar panels are charging it, but this helps charge it even faster. What is that? That's why my headlights are on. But yeah, I'm going to be turning this into a Blacktron base. I've seen a few impressive ones, and I want to try my hand at it. This was a Benny Spaceship garage, repair garage. Now it is a, it will be a Blacktron, a black site. I've already got the defense towers up. Those were like the first things that went up. Then came the solar panel, tile roof, which honestly, this does not need to be here because it's going to damage the roof. Okay. And believe it or not, I'm building in light armor. I know, like, what have you done with Crow? Like, who are you and what have you done with Crow? But I currently do not have the resources to build in heavy armor. And I do not have the resources currently, I soon will have, to build in concrete. I'd prefer to build in concrete right now. But I don't have the gravel. I've got the metal grids from just grinding a lot of stuff down. But I do not have the no. Sorry. Or what do you mean you won't go? You will go there, mister, and you will like it. I'm gonna need motors. 180. Options. Let's see. Audio. That music needs to go up. But then it'll probably need to go down too. No. Bleh. We're doing insectoids right now. Why are we doing insectoids when we're Blacktron? Blacktron may be the bad guy, maybe bad guys, but we're not the bad guys. Right now, that's a president business. Okay, radio. Let's see. What does thrusters need radio components? Motors and I need radio components. Metal grids. Radio components and metal grids. I have metal grids! I need probably that and this. little so-and-sos. Oh, 4. Radio Google, Radio Gaga. So yeah, has this week has been terrible, right? First Ozzy, then Hulk. Like crap. I don't know if I want to leave like those little horns there or not. Maybe to keep me from bumping into things. I do know I want to. No, those. No, those are definitely halves. What do you mean, nuh-uh? There we go. Yeah, been listening to a lot of music from my childhood since Ozzy passed, and that was only been a few days, and just like whole days of rock, just a day or two of rocking out. And not just Ozzy, listen to Ozzy, but I'll say Fleetfoot. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely trying to say hold my beer. And it's definitely sucking. I know I shouldn't be doing this over a solar panel because it diminishes it, but come on! Wing muscles! Style over efficiency, folks. You gotta signal to people that you're just not gonna take it. Not gonna take it anymore. Oh, that goes all the way in. Oh, okay, it does go all the way in. Good thing I don't have the automatic grind and repair system on, or whoopsie. So how you been, Fleetfoot? Edges. Armored edges. I thought they got rid of that. Won't take it. Oh, great. I have one of the cursed earworm. Yay! Been alright so far. Well, you're going to hate me when I say everything is awesome! Everything is great when we're part of a team! Now I got everything is awesome stuck in my head. And I would actually play it too, but I'd get dinged. But you want to know what? I work alone. That's my first Lego earworm. No, my first earworm was Bye Bye Babylon. From Yep, look, this is the Lego Space Wars series, okay? Not Star Wars, not Star Wars, not Star Wars. Space Wars. The original Lego Space. It encompasses all space, all the time. Encompasses everything Lego, because this is Space Engineers is basically a legally distinct from and separate from Legos, but it has been described as Legos. It's plug and play, brick styles, and we even use Lego terminology as a 1x1, like a 1x1 slope, a 1x1 steep slope. But it's not Legos. But it's basically digital Legos in a sense. But yeah, Creeps from the Deep. What is it? Do you have What It Takes to Be a Hero? I Work Alone from The Adventures of Clutch Powers, which come to find out he's actually canon in the Lego continuity, thanks to Ninjago. Turned out to be a great adventurer. I wonder if he ever found his dad. Do I want these here? Or do I want those underneath? No, I want to put these under. No. Oh, where's... That is not the SDF-1. If it's anything, it's the SDF-4. Or is it the 7? You know, the one that appears in the Shadow Chronicles? The one where the Invid... Yeah, the Invid finally leave Earth. And it shows where Rick... Yeah, where Rick is finally the Admiral of the SDF. And he's trapped in the black hole with the SDF-1. If anything, it's one of those SDFs. The non-transforming ones. It is... I haven't spawned it in yet. And I'm not going to unless these assholes decide to start being real mean. Because right now, all the protection I need is from these defense towers. And the Gatling turrets. I wonder if those are rock monsters, Saboroids, or wolves. Because the wolves on basically quote-unquote Earth, or whatever planet Lego takes place on. Because we don't know what it's thought to be like Earth, but you know, like Lego City and all that. Wait, this is Ninjago. Because the planet is actually called Ninjago, I think, in Ninjago. Go figure. Ooh, if I have it right there. What do you mean I can't? Oh. Because this has to have a certain clearance. The wolves here are rather vicious. Yeah, the sucky ones. Not the Macross, cool SDFs. which is why I like Macross better than Robotech, because every Macross is an SDF, because every Macross island, every Macross colony has their own SDF. That does transforms at least once through the anime. But yeah, that it's the sucky downgraded one. If not just a support SDF, kind of like a satellite one that can be crewed by one, that can only be crewed by one person. Oh, that explains why I didn't grind this one down. That looks too much like a jet fighter. Yeah, we do have to admit the Robotech Defense Force, the Spacey kind of screwed up when they didn't make their SDFs capable of, they didn't equip it with Veritech technology. The latter ones, they just did it with the SDF-1. And I think SDF-2 before it blew up and they rebuilt it into Mega Road. The first one that was sent out to colonize. Or was it a yeah, that SDF-2 was destroyed during a that attack. I forget that idiot's name. The warmongering Zentradi that took over during the Reconstruction era after the Robotech War, the first space war. That idiot blew up the SDF. What was it, 2 they were working on? And somehow they just abandoned the Chiron. Yeah, that asshole. Very good villain for the series, but they just abandoned the Veritech technology for their battleships and implemented it for their fighter craft, specifically the Veritech fighter craft. Okay, this is going to be visually interesting. Good. Okay, so... Oh, yeah, that's... See, and I can put that there. Okay, here... Okay, that's going to require thruster components. Yeah! I'm not going to be able to use that right now. How many thruster components do I have? I don't even have enough for one. So what I am going to do instead is... That's 55. This requires gravity. I want to know what here. Get over here. Okay. Here. Of course. Probably still got that on there. Don't need you, I need you. See, these are providing... It'd help if I had them the right way up. So this is going to be mining. I need... distributed. Or at least concealed. Say, ooh, shifty. They just got the moving parts. Boo. Yeah. Just gave me steel plate. Oh, and I'm going to need reverse... Wait, I got reverse thrust. I'm going to need sideways thrust. Okay, superconductors. Hopefully I've got enough. Thruster components. Superconductors. I will do you. Okay, who's spawning in? I will do you. No, I don't want it going out further. Do you. Do midship. I need some more thruster components. Wait a minute. The more I work on this, the more I remember an old television show called Lex. That was one. Ambananji. Was that? Did I get? No, I need more. Okay, superconductor. Always ranting about accusing of weakness or wars. It is not weakness to recognize when one is has to take when one has to make a technical retreat. And it is not weakness to know when one is beaten and when one is to make peace. Thruster component. And it is not technical weakness to know when to lay down one's arm in preparation, when to lay low and wait for the enemy to be at their weakness, at their weakest, and to play the fool. Instruction components. But yeah, Braytai, he was smart. Through 4 wars. I think he even... Not only did he survive... on top of that, remember... Even before the space... the 3 space wars... he also went through... Oh, I need superconductors. He was being... him and the Zentradi were also being used by the Robotech Masters to wage their wars. Even so... Braytai was... I guess you could call a tactical genius, or not a tactical genius, I would say. Very skilled, a general, superior, admiral. I forget his rank within the Zentradi, but I believe he actually made it to the Spacey Admiralty. Shows you how much a skill he had as a Zentradi warrior. Large steel tubes. And Chiron was just freaking Starscream. Large steel tubes. You want to know what? I'm going to a... production. I'm going to do 10 of those. I probably don't got... No, I do not have the gold. I don't got the gold. I don't got titanium. I don't got the tungsten. Yeah, yeah, but remember Braytai, he was the Zentradi's quote unquote supreme commander for how long? In the service of the Robotech Masters before they came to Earth, looking for the SDF, for what was originally termed the Visitor. That I forget the scientist's name who stole it, or I don't know. Did he actually steal it? I always assumed he stole it, but that it just crashed there. Still need superconductors, so... Yeah, Exodor. Very unusual also for Exodore to be that short for Zentradi. Because the Zentradi are genetic clones of each other. They all have the same genetic template. And from what I remember, they're all the same, supposed to be all the same height. They have minor genetic differences, different hair, kind of different weights, especially the kind of different facial structures. You all different facial structures, different hair colors. You know, like those three idiots. You like basically the comic relief. Especially the one episode I remember is the spy mission. They were sent on like looking at while a Minmay was like doing the fashion contest and all. They're like, why does and she's like in the bathing suit. Minmay's in the bathing suit, and they're watching the broadcast and they're asking, why does the armor only cover so little? And they're theorizing, maybe that's the only parts she's vulnerable at. Those three idiots. Oddly enough, they were surprisingly quite effective at their job. Survived surprisingly long, too. Up through the Reconstruction period, I believe. But yeah, one of them was extremely fat and all. But for Exodore to be that small was rather surprising. He either was it already experimenting with the micronization processes and made himself that small, or the Robotech masters deliberately cloned him to be that small. Which is why we know the Zentradi by Robotech standards. We're not talking about Macross here, folks. Macross is its own separate thing, even though they have a whole lot of similarities, but I guess you could say same reality, different continuities. It's like Transformers. You have the Japanese version and you have the Western version. Oh yeah, oh man, those idiots. I always liked those three. Always reminded me of the Three Stooges, but in a better way. So I'm just gonna have to, no, I shouldn't have done that. What I should have done is get rid of that. But that's just an example of how Zentradi biology was supposed to. They're clones of each other or of the same genetic material, but they were basically they're varying differences, but they basically were all the same. It was all just, I want to say superfluous. I've never been able to say that word. But Exodore was, his height was weird. Thruster components. That's nothing. Get it on just here. Okay. I'm going like, oh crap, who is attacking? I've got basically radar up working, targeting. More solar? Yeah, actually, those wings need to be longer. Now I'm going to have to dig into my Robotech collection, Fleetfoot. Oh, question. Is there a new Robotech series coming out? Any word on the Sentinels? I know there was that movie, but I've given up hopes on it. I had heard something about continuation of the Shadow Chronicles, but any word on the Sentinels? That's what everybody wants. Sentinels. Yeah, bridge bunnies. War never changes, except for when it does. Okay, so power. I'm going to need more skill play. Yeah, I'm going to extend the wings out. Don't know if it'll go out further over here. Before y'all say anything about the Bridge Bunny comment, that's actually kind of what they're referred to as within parts of the Robotech community, because if y'all did not know, Robotech tends to use revolve around well, the commanders of the no word. It's not, yeah, for news updates and all, folks, what's it, Harmony Gold or whatever? They've released the actual old novels, which read them. It'll give you. I don't know if they're still considered canon or not. They weren't when I read them back like 20 years ago, but a lot of stuff was retconned and all, and like with the comics that was released and the RPG, the official RPG, but it can give you into some insight into Roy Fokker, also known as Skull Leader, leader of the Yellow Squadron, into Rick Hunter, the main star of the series, Min-May, the dynamics upon the SDF, some behind the scenes concepts of how the SDF was discovered, the first few days of how the United Nations was reacting to it, especially in the first novel, The Visitor, I believe. And how exactly space-time is screwed up when the spacefold technology is employed by human, how much it's screwed up by human perception. Well, how much human perception is screwed up when a spacefold technology is used. Because in I think it's in The Visitor, like days passed in the when they were still exploring quote unquote The Visitor, which is the crashed SDF when it was still an alien craft and not the reconstructed super dimensional fortress. Like days had passed inside while only a few hours had passed outside, and that was because the what was it, the spacefold system was malfunctioning, leaking or something. The reflex engines were all out of whack. It goes into some detail about the technology too. Girders. But yeah, as I was saying about some of y'all that'll take offense to the Bridge Bunny comment, that's actually the term used for the female bridge crew in a Robotech, because it's staffed with nothing but women. All the officers on there are women except for the captain himself. Don't ask me why. They just are. I think it goes back to women being more observant. But it actually does kind of have a funny dynamic with what is it, Lisa Hayes and Rick through the cartoon series. That's kind of how their relationship builds, and they start depending upon each other. And it's funny how Rick actually originally gets involved in everything. It's because of that screw up. Okay, I think that's wide enough. Yeah, that simulates. Ooh, do I want to put another thruster on here? Damn it, I'm going back. Damn it, I just remembered the first episode I ever watched of Robotech. It was actually the first episode of Robotech. Specifically, the first scene there's two scenes I remember from it that's popping up in my mind. The vending machine scene, I'm like, when's that coming around? And where Rick's Veritech fighter is crashing into the building after he transforms. Pilot the fighters. Yeah. Yeah, as Fleetfoot says, there's kind of like a splitting of the timelines. I guess you could say there's a splitting of of a timeline at that critical juncture. It's a splitting of choice. Yeah, it's it's uh, it's kind of like one of those fateful choices. Like you could have taken road A, you could have taken road B. What if you took both? But for the most part, Robotech and Macross, they were basically this. You can think of them as the same continuity up until the attack on this SDF-2, and that is where they split. Except for there's a problem, Fleetfoot. The female Zentrade in Macross were always considered Meltronde. They were an entire separate creation than the male Zentrade. That's about it. And there was an actual rivalry between the two to the point where they were actively hostile towards each other to the point of they would actually engage in open combat if they saw each other, if certain protocols were followed. I guess for the most part, that's why you really didn't see female Zentrade in a Robotech up until a certain point. I guess you could. That's my hand waving it away, but okay. I need side thrusters. I could put them here. There are some minor differences between the original Robotech and Macross, but generally, I regard Macross and Robotech as two separate things because Robotech is made up of a. Robotech is like three, four different series mashed together. Like I know like one of the Robotech movies is actually like Megazone. What Megazone 23? With the Garland bike. Yeah, but yeah, if you want to try to relate a Macross and a Robotech, just think of the attack on the Chiron's attack on the SDF-2 as basically the breaking point of the as the nexus of a basically all the basically of everything that I think of it as all the fan of the breaking point of the Robotech universe that split off Macross. Basically, that explains a. Oh, what am I trying to say here? Like all the fan universes and everything. That doesn't just go forward in time, but backwards in time as well. it kind of shattered everything. It may have actually been, that event could actually cause a retconning of certain things. So budget. Where's that antennae? Budget, budget, budget. Oh, I can put thrusters here. Oh, yeah, you could say his attack on the SDF was so pivotal, it quaked the entire fabric of that reality and altered a whole lot, creating a pocket universes, divergent timelines. It was that important. There we go. That that there were so many variable outcomes from that event. The Robotech universe was the fabric of the Robotech universe was forced to generate a number of different outcomes. That's kind of the way I see it. Just so it wouldn't implode on itself. But yeah, that Meltwande thing was like, once I started into looking to the difference between Macross and a Robotech, I'm like, wait. There's a difference between these two? I thought they were just different names for the same thing. Nope. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get rid of this. Whoops. Yeah. Everything that went wrong later on after the first Robotech Wars because of Chiron. Yep. The Spacey would have still been strong, would have still had forces. Alaska would have still held. Alaska would have still held with its cannon. There would have been that early warning system. The SDF-2 would have been there. Macross City would have survived. Humanity wouldn't have. Humanity itself wouldn't have been depleted. What parts do I need? So yeah, you actually are correct, Fleetfoot. Construction components and motors. Where's construction? Yeah, I thought I got enough. Never enough. Never enough. Never surrender! And I have not watched Space Quest in decades, but I can still remember that movie clearly enough. And that other guy! I have a name, you know! I even have a backstory! Yeah, nobody cares! I don't even wear a red shirt, and I still get killed every episode. Yeah, but you still keep coming back, though. Uh, Antennas, beacon, 40 tickets down there. Put a block there. What do you? Oh, no steel. I'm like thinking, what do you mean I can't put you there? But you do gotta admit, if it wasn't for Chiron, we wouldn't have got a yellow dancer. And once I saw him, I'm like, hello. Oh, I forget his actual name though. I'm like, hello. First time I saw yeah, this is the Invid Wars. I forgot. This is part 3 of the Robotech series. When they're fighting the Invid, the cartoon series. I forget his actual name, but he was part of the Mars reclamation, the Mars army that went back to free Earth from the Invid, and very popular singer. But he was a rebel, hiding from the Invid, turned a cross-dresser. And I'm like, oh, hello. And I started having questions. I blame Yellow Dancer. Yep. Mospita. That series is in a Macross is a well. It's not Macross. It's a in Japanese. It's Genesis Climber Mospita. But I regard those bikes as Mospita because it's an acronym. But those are actually, I think those are ride armors. And I like the little short film, the short fan film that was done a while back when they were a pre. The short film was them first deploying them to investigate the Visitor, the crashed Zentradi ship on Macross Island. For y'all that don't know, Macross Island is, yeah, Lance. I always knew Lance as Yellow Dancer because that is the name attributed to the song as the singer of the song. But I'm like, hello. Yeah, the ride armors. Those are my favorite Veritex. But two things here. One, Macross is the island upon which the Proto SDF, the Visitor, crashed on, from which Macross Island gets its name, and from which the Macross series gets its name, and all other Macross colony ships gets their name. And two, Veritech stands for Variable Technology. It that just means it's capable of transforming. It's it's also termed Robotech, but that's usually Robotech is more robotechnology, which I believe is more reserved for a robotic technology. Like kind of like a kind of basically like the vending machines, the actual robots. Veritech would be like for the fighters, for the Veritech fighters, for the Veritech bikes, even the pistols that the soldiers use. That they can go from you can configure them like in the Robotech Invid Wars game, where you can configure them to like be a sniper, a submachine gun, to a pistol. I myself would classify that as a Veritech because it's a variable technology. It's still the same platform, but it can be it's still the same weapons platform, but it's multi-role. It's a multi-role variable technology platform. But yeah, with Lance Belmont, Lance Belmont was part of the Mars Army. They Not to spoil anything, but this has been out since the 80s. Hello. Him and who's actually the main character? Well, the group of rebels with Lance. He was there a long while. He was forced to go undercover because he was part of the Earth Liberation part there to free Earth from the Invid. He went into cover. The only way he could do that because Lance was rather effeminate in appearance. So when he was found out, he started cross-dressing, started singing. He became very well known as a singer, known as Yellow Dancer. Became real famous for it. And when he teamed up with the show's main cast, he started using his persona as Yellow Dancer to further the main cast's goals of getting a protoculture, which is, unlike in Macross, in Robotech, it's actually the fuel source, and to help gather information, stage a anti-Invid counter strikes, anti-Invid strikes, and just do and be rather annoying to the Invid without directly calling out his true self, Lance. And no, before y'all say this, no, Lance was not a drag queen. He did not make fun of being a woman. He actually took on the persona of a woman. He lived for quite a while as a woman. In fact, you could almost call him trans. Up until the point he revealed he was actually a man to the group, which was on that scene. I'm going like, what? Why are you undressing like that? And he just turned around, dropped the bra, bare chest, and like the group's like, whoa, like Lance Belmont at your service, sir. You could say he is the group's special forces and recon and intelligence officer. Well, and infiltration. He's the one that rides the blue bike. Coffee, 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 coffee. So I will say Nikki Basara is still my favorite out of the entire Macross Robotech series. I still want to bump these up and put that there, but bump that back, but no. Okay, those are going to charge you. Have you ever seen it rain on a sunny day? Okay. Yeah. Which Scott he would later his involvement with the Invid Princess was actually a plot point in the movie Shadow Chronicles, where watch Shadow Chronicles. I don't want to spoil Shadow Chronicles, but watch it. I kind of mentioned the SDF and the black hole. Let's just say Rick finally went. I will say Rick Hunter, how he started out as a civilian and how he got mixed up in the SDF war. I will say he did get his happy ending. Unlike Roy Folker. They did our boy Roy dirty, but after the hell Roy went through, especially, but what series was that with the Proto Veritech? That was one of the more recent releases. I think it was Valkyrie. Give me a minute here. I'm actually on the Robotech wiki. No. But there was a show. Yeah, Macross Zero. If you don't know anything about Robotech, I would actually, well, yes, if you've never watched Robotech, if you don't know anything about Robotech, if you don't know anything about Macross, start with Macross Zero. In my opinion, that is a good place to start. And I have seen I have watched the entire Robotech series like 7 to 10 times. I've read the old comics. I've read like 10 out of the 20 novels. I've watched like 4 out of the 7 Macross animes. Not the newest one, though. I would suggest starting with Macross Zero. That give you insight. In my opinion, one of the key characters, Roy Folker, as in I believe he's named from the the real life Red Baron. It kind of explains some of the global war, the ending of the global war that was going on at the time. That basically aliens was announced to humanity. It gives you some of the insights into the technology of Veritex and the difficulties humanity had in adapting it. Some of the secrets behind it. And from there, I would encourage you to go with start with the Robotech episode 1. Macross Zero is it's the ending, I believe, is going to seem strange. If I remember the ending. Yeah, the the ending will seem strange to you. But don't worry about it. It actually has a lot of tie-in with the Macross itself, especially if you're going to go down the Macross timeline. That will actually help to explain things. Oh, dude. Oh, not do you remember love? No more Minmay. Of all these characters, I do not like Minmay. I'm going to go so far as to say I detest Minmay and how she for no other reason than how she treated Rick. She put her career ahead of Rick. And then tried to go back to him after the thing she did to him. And he actively tried to go after her, tried to actually court her. Tried to be there for her. Okay, what else does this need? It needs uranium, that's what it needs. Okay, what's the batteries like?
Ship fuel critical.
Oop. I will say this, there is a reason for the singing in Macross. Not in Robotech. And Macross, it is later revealed, I believe, with Macross 7? The reason for the singing. And later with a... which one is it? Oh man, I forget. But it's the mystery of the singing and why humans are so effective at it. and why it is so effective against other species. Believe it or not, there is a power in singing, especially human singing, that is actually psychic in nature when it comes to the Robotech Macross series. It's almost, think of it like a Star Wars battle meditation that a certain Jedi can do to enhance other people during combat. No, 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 no. It's be But I do have to say one thing about Min May. If it wasn't for Min May, Rick and Lisa would not have found each other. And that is actually a good thing. Okay, this is about done. It just needs to charge. The batteries just need to charge. Okay, that's 7 plus 3. 13. Okay, so I'm going to connectors. Off. Off. I still want my Sentinels anime. Still want my Sentinels cartoon. Off. Not on, off. 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 It's off. 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 I just love marriage. Strange how two admirals were allowed to be married. Two spacey admirals at that. But then again, probably the wars actually can't see crap. Allowed for different regulations than than they do now. I can't turn that off. Oh, there we go. There we go. Wait a minute, did I get nuclear fuel? This does not have uranium. Crap. So that's going to have to charge. %, 13%. Crap. Looks like it's to a just turn that off. Did I turn off the whole base? Because you're over here wasting power. You're going to waste power. You know what? Get rid of you. I don't want you there anyways. So I'm going to need steel plate for what I want to do. And that is weld all this crap up. Sorry about the sizzling chicken. Or is it pissing? Sometimes you really can't tell. But yeah, as I said, if you want to start with the Macross, especially the Macross series, if you're going down that convergence line, I mean that divergence line, start with a Macross 0. It's a good introduction. It gives a little backstory about the global war that was going on at the time, how it was how it's basically winding down, how the UN had actually taken control of everything, how people were feeling at the time, how there were still rebels opposing the United Nations at United Nations control. Kind of how the Valkyrie, the Veritech Valkyrie was in development. How it actually uses a lot of fuel. And how it's actually prone to, how the transformation system's prone to jamming. And how Roy Fokker was actually the original test pilot for it. And I think that even the helmet he used was actually supposed to be a neural transfer system for when it was moving. And how the Veritech technology was claimed to have been stolen. And there are some actual destroids you don't see in the other series. Like the submarine ones. And it's all developed there, I believe, on Macross Island. But the ending, it's weird, but stick with it. There's a lot of weird things in a Robotech that you kind of question, like, what? The seed of life? Like, what's the seed of life? Oh, that's where protoculture comes from. Like, what's protoculture? It comes from the seed of life. It's what proto-processed a seed of life comes from. It's also what the Invent eat. And that one asshole that one asshole scientist stole because the queen thought he looked like what? Former lover, a god or something? And the Inven King that what thought to go to war because he evolved like what a fifth finger. But the queen was like, "No, don't do it. I love him." That was or whatever. Or like, "You've returned to fulfill your promise." Like, lady, I've never been here. Probably he was there, but my entire guessing was it was like it was a whole time fold a screw up, and he was there in the past. Forget his name. Was it Exodor? It wasn't Exodor. Was it? But if you just want Robotech itself, yeah. Yeah, Zor was a dick. He was just there for the science. He discovered like this whole new. He was there for the science. He discovered this new source of power, which was actually the Invid's food source. Yeah. See, even the defense towers agree. He was a dick. He was there. Look, he was there on a scientific exploration. He discovered the new power source. He was a Robotech master, by the way. In Macross, they're called something entirely different because I know they're called something entirely different but I don't know their name because they don't exactly exist in Macross. Because it's an entirely different series. Because the Invid are actually called Inbid. No, not Inbid, Inbit. And it's an entirely different series and not related to Macross in any other way. Because Robotech is like 3-4 different unrelated series mishmashed together to make a great series. Gotta hand it to Harmony Gold for that one. Yeah, and he just took the flower of life. No, literally took it all from the planet. Say, this is mine now. You can't have it. To research and everything. Developed, quote-unquote, protoculture, which is something entirely different in Macross. I encourage you to research it if you don't want it to you will be confused if you go into Macross thinking protoculture is a food is an energy source. It's not. It is actually protoculture, the very first culture ever to exist, and seeded culture throughout the galaxy. Because there are other species. My favorite species is actually the humanoid marsupials from a Macross 7 Fire, I think, with the eye snakes around their neck that are that are actually psychic. The furry ice snakes can actually allows them to interpret any language. Forget their name. But anyways. But Zor was a real jackass. All he cared about was the science, discovery. But my whole entire theory with Zor was he would act if the Sentinel thing was allowed to continue, it would have been discovered he would have actually was the same figure from the Invid history, but somehow he had gone back in time through some sort of spacefold malfunction or something, had seeded the planet somehow. So he could discover it in the future. And come to find out, later on in Shadow Chronicles, this is the whole reason, like, at the end they go off to find the SDF. The SDF-1 is the only ship capable of reproducing a protoculture. Because of its, protoculture matrix? At the time, because the Invid took all the protoculture and the flower of life with it. When they left the planet Earth. Like, fine, we're leaving, but you can't have this with you. And the SDF, wherever it was, testing whatever it was, like a new kind of weapon, was the only one capable of reproducing a protoculture, the flower of life, which the Visitor, I think, was actually Zor's original ship that he then commandeered for Zor to gallivant around in, that the Robotech Masters sent the Zentradi out to look for, because Zor went rogue. I don't remember much of the that part of the Robotech lore. Hey folks, it's 4:04. I went over about 5 minutes talking about one of my favorite. I'm going to call it an anime because it actually is. It's got the anime art style, and it was actually. It's a Western production, yes, but it's actually drawn in Japan. It has the traditional anime art style, and it has the horrible Western lip syncing with the sometimes where it's not needed. But I'm going to save it here, folks. And I'm going to do what I normally do. And that would be coming up here and coming up here. And I'm going to say, I apologize for that flashing. But this is the end of today's episode. Do what you normally do. I very much appreciate y'all tuning in. But this is the end of the episode. So, yeah, do what you normally do, because I know I will be. I don't ask you to like. I don't ask you to subscribe. I don't ask you to leave a comment. Well, actually, I do ask you to leave a comment. And that's only on one condition. Well, actually, not even one condition. I don't even ask you to leave a comment, usually, but if you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. Usually that is in regards to if you don't like something I said or did not do, leave a comment. I really don't care. As a matter of fact, I encourage you to downvote, to leave a thumbs downvote this episode. If there's anything on here you did not like, anything whatsoever, for the most part, this has been brought to you by me and solely me. No paid advertisements whatsoever. I am not funded by anybody besides my monthly disability check, which I usually probably now will be holding back on purchasing anything, considering I will now got family stuff to be putting it towards. That update will be coming. I will give that update probably tomorrow if I'm feeling well enough. Day after, depends. The updates are not for in credits and all. So, but anyways, I don't take money. I'm not any I'm not backed by YouTube. I don't ask for money. I don't take sponsorships. I just do this as a hobby, even though I kind of try to treat it as a business. But for the most part, there's one thing I do ask you to do, and that is remember this. Why enter the arena if you don't have to? Until next time, folks, I'll catch you on the bounce. Later!